You look a lot more relaxed. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Although I've been crazy busy today.
You're doing video recordings?
I haven't gotten to it yet. I've been doing all this other shit. So
Fair enough.
everyone's like, "Do you mind if I just book over?" And it's just like, yeah.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 12 of 2026. I'm Chris Louie, and there are 2 bobcats in my backyard right now. With me, we have my co-host, the Cloud God, who gets confused easily by daylight savings time.
All right, so there's 2 things here. One time we were out in a neighborhood called Gold Canyon. We just moved in there, and like right across the fence, we were like, it's like open desert, and so we're like building a fort with the kids. This is like when they were so small, like first grade. And like the next day, I was going out there, like putting up another wall, just with like random desert rock and whatnot. And the neighbor came by. He's like, "Hey, I don't know if you should be letting your kids play back here." And I'm like, "F you, I'll do whatever I want." He's like, "No, we don't understand."
Dad.
Yeah, there's like big cats back here to snatch up your kids and they'll be gone forever. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "No, man." And so I wouldn't call them bobcats, but definitely mountain lions. But you're talking about a different kind of bobcats, aren't you, buddy?
Yeah, these are the front loader bobcats.
Oh, okay.
Getting some work done in the backyard there, and they're hauling out truckloads of dirt. They're up to, I think this is the fourth dump truck full of dirt they've had to haul away.
Damn. Well, on that note, I don't get confused with daylight savings time, but what I do get confused is when I'm booking meetings in late March, in January, and they're like, "Can you do this at this time?" I'm like, "Sure." And then daylight savings time had kicked in between January and March, and so like everything's screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got me a couple times this week, even though I wasn't supposed to be working. So
Duty calls. Yeah.
But for everyone listening who live in Arizona, we don't do the stupid daylight savings time. We
It's
just
true.
do our own thing. Yeah, we don't change.
I think that was a fun
part
fact.
of
It
the
said
commune.
Arizona, Hawaii are the 2 states that do not recognize it, but the reservation that you live nearby, they do recognize. There's a small carve out in Arizona because they're an independent county, state, whatever. They do whatever they want. They adhere to daylight savings even if you don't.
That is true, and you'll actually see it driving through. It's up north near the Four Corners area, and you'll see your phone like
Navajo?
probably Navajo Nation.
I
Yeah,
think it's Navajo Nation, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll see it go in and out. Like your phone will show it's 2:00, and then your car will be like, "No, it's 3." You're like, "What the hell is going on? Who won?"
I feel like there's some kind of like time hack you could do here, like gain an hour, lose an hour, gain an hour. Or, yeah, there's got to be some kind of time hack, you got to say, with you being so close to another time zone. You got to figure out how we can exploit that.
You never know.
And we will soon have Glenn Medina. He's not on yet. He said he will join later so we can make fun of his 4-foot deep pool. He's now firing up that pool of his. He had a scorching hot week this week in the Bay Area. Pretty unusual considering it was still winter like just a few days ago.
I know it's been triple digits here in Arizona already.
Yeah, I know. Brian's thinking in the back of his mind, what's Bay Area scorching hot? I'm like, it's like mid 80s here. Like, we are not used to that in March. Actually, we're not used to that period pretty much down here, but especially not in March. Kids don't know what to do.
We're all gonna die.
No guess this week. It's been a while since we've had all 3 hosts together. Glenn was supposed to join on time today, so go blame him that we're all not recording at the same time right now. And everyone is still traveling back from SE Summit. We wish them safe travels and expeditious through that long TSA line. But next week we should probably have another guest again. I should ask Brian, you've been traveling quite a bit. How's TSA been for you? Sky Harbor?
No issue. Yeah, just in and out
good.
real quick. Yeah.
I've been seeing those videos online. Like, I think it was the Austin airport. The line was like literally out the door, like not even exaggerating. Like people are just queuing up outside the airport because there's just a shortage of TSA workers.
Yeah, are they on strike or something? Is that what's going on?
They are currently not funded, so the TSA workers that are working without pay. So the entire Department of Homeland Security is working without funding. I think we're 37 days into the shutdown, partial shutdown.
Oh, geez. Well, I'm
So
sure
that's
they'll
why.
get all their money back once.
They will. But
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
would you show up to work if you weren't getting paid? Or they have to like get other jobs, drive for Uber, make ends meet.
Yeah.
Until they make.
Would you download a car?
I 100% would.
If there was a way to 3D print it, you'd be on it.
It's true.
I want you to get those never-ending shelves I sent you. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a letter opener.
Yeah, obviously. It's not... Have you stabbed anything with it?
No, it actually just came off the printer, but I'm going to try to open some boxes up with it later.
Oh, nice. Okay.
What? I don't remember the never-ending shelves.
It was like these little cubes that the guys like crazy
yes.
over-engineered.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to pay $12 if I wanted to download it, though. So, as I mentioned at the top, I'm notoriously cheap. I don't feel like paying $12 for that.
I mean, if you'll print it all out for me and do it, then I'll fund it.
Okay. All right. I'll get it. I'll take that sponsorship. We'll talk offline about that.
Sounds like a plan.
Come on, we have decades of information security experience here, not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories this week, so sit back, relax, and we are adopting a new cat. This week, we're going to talk about Meta killing privacy. A pair of
they already
co-founders. Do that? More.
Wasn't it like the top line foundational role of Meta?
Yep, it made everyone's privacy. That's true. More, I should have added.
Yeah.
2 executives get indicted on smuggling charges. For our third topic, RSA is almost here, or it's here if you're listening to this on Monday. And close with springtime talk. For our first topic, Meta plans to end their privacy-preserving feature of end-to-end encrypted messaging. This is a huge setback for privacy advocates who promote the use of end-to-end encryption to keep private messages, you guessed it, private. There have been countless stories of third-party contractors or even Meta employees themselves reading people's private messages and abusing their access. And when you think about it, there's probably a lot of sensitive and, let's say, explicit photos being shared across Meta's messenger applications. Now, Meta claims this change is twofold. The first is hardly anyone was using the feature because it was off by default. And the second is for content moderation reasons. If Meta is going to be accused of harboring child predators, they have to at least say that they're trying to fix the problem, and they cannot do that with end-to-end encryption enabled.
Meanwhile, Signal's in the background, like that dude behind the tree.
Behind
like
the
this,
tree.
like, rubbing his hands together. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what happened when Meta changed the WhatsApp policy, privacy policy, and everyone jumped over to Signal. But like the overlap of WhatsApp users and Signal users, it's probably pretty large, but the overlap of Instagram users and Signal users, I'm sure, is like much smaller.
Yeah. I can only imagine. I didn't even think that about Instagram being. I wouldn't even think that's secure at all, to be honest with you.
It's not. That's the thing. Yeah.
Or ever was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I use it. I know you disabled your account, but I use it. But it is. I consider it like WYSIWYG. Like what you see is what you get. You go in there, you are tracked. There is an algorithm. I get ads that are very targeted towards me, but I go in there full knowing that. And same thing with the direct message feature on it. I don't use it unless I absolutely positively have to. But people like my wife, she'll communicate with her friends using that. And I tell her every time, like, they're spying on you. They're data mining you. Like that thing that you talked about, like you got random ads showing up for that. Like, guess how they found out? Like, if I don't have to use it, I won't use it is the bottom line there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, score 1 for the good guys, I guess, here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of the controversy here because there's privacy absolutionists. I would consider like the EFF privacy absolutionists, where there's no exception where any government or any tech company should be able to read your stuff. Like it's private should be private. But I can kind of see like I'm more okay with Instagram turning off end-to-end encryption versus like a WhatsApp or a Signal turning it off, because like there are a lot of predators on Instagram. It's not to say that they don't exist on Telegram or Signal or whatever, but like Instagram is a social network. It's a network of people that you know, and you're more likely to interact with strangers on a social network. Like I don't interact with any strangers on Signal or Telegram or WhatsApp, so it's a little different, I say.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like you can just have some innocent bystander, right? Like how many kids are under the age of 13 or whatever the age limit is to be on Instagram that are just lying right through it, and they have a phone. It might as well just be a gun because it is that dangerous. And you have these perverts reaching out to him on there. So I'm with you on that.
Just a box you check, like, yeah, I'm over 13. Wink, wink.
Yeah. In the same breath, right? There's still perverts using Signal, just exchanging
100%.
information.
100%. Yeah. I mean,
or
in all
Telegram
these cases,
or you name it.
It's a platform. They're protected under Section 230. So they are the platform. But I would say that Ned is trying to strike a balance here. And this relates back to some of the stories that I've been sending to you guys. And Brian, you talked about on the show one time where there was a Snapchat a teacher sent. She sent a threat jokingly about one of her students. And then the cops came in and says, hey, Snapchat notified the FBI. The FBI notified us. Like, this is wrong. You can't say things like that. And she's like, oh, I was obviously joking. We're like, sorry.
Yeah. Like, it was uncomfortable to watch, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Like the body cam footage was released of that. And like, I genuinely feel for the teacher. Like, she knew she messed up. Like, she shouldn't have said that. Like, and I think everybody in the video knows that it was a joke and she would never do something like that. But that's one of those things, like, you can't take any chances. It was zero tolerance policy. There's been too many times where people have said those things, people did nothing, and then something bad happened. So it's
exactly,
like, we got to err on the side of caution, unfortunately.
Well, hey, speaking of perverts, Glenn Medina has joined the chat. How's it going, Glenn?
Love it.
Nice segue.
Thanks,
there.
guys. I love you too.
Oh, looking dapper.
Good to see you, Glenn. We miss you, man.
Thank you.
No, is that a confetti background on your phone Zoom?
Oh, let's see. Let me check the background here. It's probably just the auto background that I have. Because half the time I'm sitting someplace I don't want people to know where I'm at. So, yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Fair enough.
Is that better? Boy, do I look fat
Yeah.
inside this
Look at
suit. Oh my God.
So going back to the story, how soon until Signal introduces something like client side that could search for CSAM material, AI driven, and then do something, still provide end-to-end encryption, but prevent you from being nefarious? And then once that happens, like, all bets are off. Then it's going to get wild. Like they can,
Slippery slope, man.
you know
That's
what I mean?
a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Very slippery. Yeah, Meredith Whitaker, I think she's the president of the Signal Foundation. She's more on the privacy absolutionist side than the I'll bow to some type of law enforcement pressure. Like, she famously said, we'd rather leave the UK market than give the UK government a backdoor into our platform. So it's it's like, yes, we can probably find a compromise. I thought we would get there with Apple. Like, it was maybe 4 years ago where they introduced the client-side scanning feature and everybody freaked the F out. And people are saying, like, it's not what you think. Like, this is a good thing. We should be doing this. But just because of how it was framed, like, nobody, and it never went anywhere, which is tragic. But I guess we have to turn to other investigative controls then.
They should bring it back. Just silently turn it on. Capture the criminals.
And even like iCloud, like when if you guys back up your phone to iCloud, unless you turn on advanced data protection, the ADP feature, like, Apple can see it. They have the keys. So even if you upload anything to iCloud, there's no expectation of privacy. They can hand over the keys.
But the problem is, though, if you lose those keys in ADP, you're kind of hosing yourself as well, though, right?
100%, unless you have emergency backups like we all do.
Yeah.
Backup contacts. So they thought of that. It's good for us because we were educated on the feature. But if you think of grandma with her iCloud backup and she doesn't know how to set up backup contact, then losing her photos could be disastrous if she loses the keys somehow. I mean, I like the model. I like that it's opt-in.
Mm-hmm.
Just turn it on if you really want it. But again, it's one of those tyranny of the default. If it's off by default, then the vast majority will never turn it on. Then what was the other one? So there's the story of the teacher, and then I think it was a student. Was it a student that it was the same X account where I think they went in and the student had posted some kind of threat, to the school or a threat to another student, and the same thing. They said, this platform contacted the FBI. The FBI contacted us. They told us to come here and have a chat with you. And now we're having a chat because you issued some threats. And again, they're like, well, I was clearly joking. I would never do anything like that. And like, sorry, we can't take any chances here.
That little girl got humbled real quick.
Yeah.
Like the fear of God was in her. She's like, I don't believe in God, but today I do.
Yep. And again, I think there's something to be said about a balance. So Instagram turned that off, and I would hope that, maybe optimistically, now that they turn it off, well, number one, they get more data of users they could target better with ads. But number two is that you would hope the content moderation be a little bit better that way, that you can detect like grooming, you could detect things that, like it's not obvious, like you're not using obvious terms, but you're using other subtle terms that the AI can pick up on that and catch stuff like that early on.
Yeah. Imagine just get a hold of Victor's phone, because it is just junk. It's a Google, and to start typing in random things and get him arrested. That'd be fun.
You're so
LinkedIn.
wrong.
Yeah.
Not that he would ever do something like that. I mean, he lives in a sovereign nation called Canada, so he's probably fine.
Some of those sovereign nation peoples.
They think they're sovereign.
You gotta ask, Glenn, you look like you're riding public transportation. How are the people around you taking it that you're talking on a phone call right now?
In an area by myself, so it's not so bad.
I think his signal's gonna be going in and out. It's gonna be real fun editing his audio this week.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It was either now or later on.
Just turn off your video.
Yeah, I'll turn off my video.
Yeah.
There you go. Is that better?
Oh, good. Turn off your video. Yeah, just like you in the Philippines. All right, for our second topic, we have some late-breaking news that the co-founders of server company SuperMicro have been indicted, and one of them's been arrested, I should say at least one of them, for allegedly smuggling $2.5 billion worth of prohibited NVIDIA GPU chips into China in
I heard that's three chips total. It's skyrocketing prices lately.
Well, it is a direct violation of U.S. export controls, which prohibited China from buying the latest generation AI chips. In a bizarre story, the billionaire co-founders, so these people are billionaires, the co-founders of SuperMicro, they still own hundreds of millions of dollars worth of their shares, but these co-founders were caught doing things like using hair dryers to remove serial numbers off of servers that contain the banned component and swapping them with serial numbers of legitimate shipments that were going to go into China. In total, 3 people have been charged, and they allegedly used a Southeast Asian shell company to help launder the shipments. This is all coordinated over encrypted group chats, likely Signal or WhatsApp. So back to our story number 1. Shares of SuperMicro dipped 12% after hours, and the conspirators face up to 30 years in prison.
What are the chances these guys are like into CSAM material, trying to figure that out? And they're like framed them, yeah, they blackmailed them. And so they're just like, wow, 30 years in prison for smuggling or I don't even know what it would be for being a child predator, but they most certainly die, right? Like, yeah, the lesser.
No matter what the sentence is, like they'll get what's coming to them in prison, unfortunately. Maybe fortunately, unfortunately. Who's to say?
Yeah. That's insane, though. Imagine having that kind of money and $2.5 billion worth of NVIDIA chips. That's insane.
Yeah, let's say it's 10% gross margin on that. That's $250 million. But it's also the risk reward. Like, you're already that rich. Like, is it worth the risk getting caught and getting sent to prison for 30 years for $250 million?
Well,
I guess to some people, maybe.
Maybe they kidnapped his family and were holding him hostage, or the plant to begin with, right? So we don't know that. We don't know the details of that.
Yeah, that we don't. I mean, that'll all come out in the course of the investigation. But just from a pure risk reward standpoint, like I expect some like low level people to do this, maybe a manager that signs off on the shipments. But these are like the co-founders of the company. Like, shouldn't you be doing other things that not smuggling chips into China?
I was kind of reading through that. It said they were using hair dryers to changed the tags of the serial number.
The serial numbers.
I was like, God, you would think you'd at least go a little higher and go, at least a water, an air heater, right? Like one of those a heat gun instead of a hair dryer. So it's kind of funny. Not that Brian knows what a hair dryer is, so we're good.
It warms his head up. That's what he uses it for.
Dry my shoes.
Yep.
What is like? How insane that they were like? Sorry, let's talk about this real quick. $2.5 billion worth of NVIDIA chips going to China. They're going to smuggle it, and instead of using like a heat gun, they're using hair dryers to do this. Like, they're like, I know we can do this, but I have a great way of saving money. We'll stay at the Residence Inn. We'll take one of the hair dryers there. Yeah, it's going to take a while, but think of the $56 we're going to save, boys.
Think about it. A hair dryer against how many assets is that they have to use to get those stickers off? That's funny.
Call it, I don't know how much Blackwells cost, 50 to 90 grand a piece, divided by 2.5 billion. Yeah, actually, you're right. That is a lot. That's a lot of chips.
Are they over there?
And I guess a funny twist to this, maybe funny in retrospect, but the current administration lifted the export restrictions on Blackwells, the latest generation AI chips, on China, maybe within the last month or so. So these guys just waited like a little bit longer. They wouldn't be facing 30 years in prison, but I guess there was no way they could have known that the sanctions would be lifted, and China just had to get their hands on these next generation chips.
Wait, I missed that. There's no more embargo on that?
No.
They can actually buy it legally?
Yes, they can legally buy them now, but at the time of the smuggling, they were not allowed. There was,
what idiot
6-month
approved
period.
This?
What?
I said, what idiot approved this? This is bad news.
That's the Office of the Treasury. They're the ones that handle all the export controls and the sanctions. And I think
somebody got paid. There's some smuggling going on the back end of that. That is sketch at best.
Well, I think it was in advance of the trade talks that were supposed to be at the end of this month. They got postponed as like a gesture of goodwill. And then I would say it's also like, I don't know a ton of the background of how AI works and how China's like evading these things. I know a little bit, but I think everybody knows the saying, necessity is the mother of all innovation. And I think China found a way with like DeepSeek and Kimi and those large language models. They found a way to make them run more efficiently on the previous gen chips. So those were the Hopper chips. And they said it was actually the high bandwidth memory that was more important than the GPUs. So they got all this high bandwidth memory for free with all these last generation chips, and they developed these models to run better on that. So the US is like, well, there's no point in choking you off from the latest gen chips. That's money we're losing out on, and you've already figured out a way to make your models better without them. So like, let's just open the floodgates and do some trade. And then NVIDIA GTS this past week said their next generation of chips is ready to ship too. So there's that. I doubt they're going to get those. But I think part of the reason that they are facing 30 years is that they chose to export to our number one economic and political rival, which was China. So I have a feeling if they exported these chips to like Russia, even though Russia is like a sanctioned country, I don't think they would have come down quite as hard on it because Russia's AI, we're not competing with them really. But if China got their hands on these next gen AI chips, then that's detrimental to our national security.
Get ready.
Does Glenn have an opinion on current geopolitics of our relationship with China?
No, but it is concerning that. I mean, you got to imagine the sales rep at NVIDIA going, I just did $1 billion, right? And like that didn't raise signals or flags anywhere. That's kind of seemed very odd.
Well, because NVIDIA sells to SuperMicro, and SuperMicro is a gigantic buyer of NVIDIA chips because they sell to the hyperscalers. So I don't think $2.5 billion worth of chips to SuperMicro would have raised any flags.
we
you're
said
talking
billion,
like-
not million, right? I mean, it's billion. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's billion. Like who
Yeah. You with
who
like
carries around a net 90 on that, right? Like, can you imagine?
yeah. It's like I'll pay you in 90 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, send me that $2.5 billion worth of chips.
That's nuts.
I think we have a new business idea, boys. Let's get into the GPU business. I actually knew somebody. So prior to Hong Kong getting handed back to China back in 1997, I knew somebody that ran an import-export business, and that was their sole job. Like any goods that were prohibited from being sold to China, they'd set up a shell company in Hong Kong, buy the item, and then resell it from the Hong Kong entity into China. And that's all they did. Like they just pushed paper around. They didn't even have to ever take possession of the goods either. But
I want to do that
was the
at
thing.
Disneyland with hot dogs.
Just like buy the Costco hot dogs and then sell them for $3
So
instead of $1.50.
So does this mean that Nvidia will lose the sale on that and have to claw back the commission for that one rep? And does this affect their bottom line on their earnings announcement? It's not, I mean, that's not a small number when you say billion.
Not on NVIDIA, because NVIDIA legitimately sold the chips to SuperMicro. It's SuperMicro that did the switcheroo. So SuperMicro is in real hot water right now, which is why their stock is
That's what I'm
down.
saying. If they paid or not paid, though, in that net 90, or how long has that been since?
Yeah, I don't know. NVIDIA have to go to SuperMicro to litigate that one.
I guess it's more impressive that they had $2.5 billion worth of free money to buy some GPUs. That's insane.
Yeah, they're just printing money over there, literally.
Where?
Damn, that just goes to show you like how many orders. Like Nvidia's like, oh, this is a small order for us.
Yeah.
The commission check on this one's gonna be $50, boys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they say. They said NVIDIA said for all their orders, even through like 2028, maybe even 2030, like every single GPU is spoken for. Like if you're a small time shop, like you have no chance of getting one. You just have to rent some space from a hyperscaler and use theirs. You just literally cannot make them fast enough.
Insane. Good for them though.
Yep.
Bad for us.
Good for Jensen. You can buy a lot of leather jackets now.
He loved that leather jacket. I'll tell you what.
He does. He does. That's one of those things you got to respect. That's Jensen's leather jacket. It's Mark Zuckerberg's hoodie. It's like no matter how rich they get, they never forget where they came from.
Mine's gonna be a gold chain on stage on top of my suit.
Do it. Are you gonna get the Z
With a-
logo?
No, I'm gonna do like a saint. I don't know. There's gotta be a saint that does cloud stuff.
Saint
Like,
Cloud God.
Saint Cloud God, yeah.
Oh damn! How many?
Stupid.
All right, for our third topic, the RSA Conference is currently happening in San Francisco as you are likely listening to this recording. If you manage to dodge the people doing the dope fiend lean and the feces on the sidewalk, this is your opportunity to reconnect with old colleagues and get some beers at a local vendor party. What are your 2026 RSA Conference predictions? And also come and see us. I think we're all going to be there. Come find us.
Uh,
I'm stoked for that. The fentanyl fold, not the dope fiend lean.
Is there
Same
a
thing.
difference?
That'll be big.
Is there a
Yeah.
difference?
All I know is the petty theft isn't legal anymore, right? They fixed that.
Yes and no. They like the guy that occasionally walking out with CVS with some stuff. That's still legal. It's the retail organized crime because they changed the law that said if you steal, I think it's because it used to be $900 per offense. So if you stole $800 worth of stuff 100 times, it wouldn't matter. But I think the part of the law they changed was it's aggregate now. So if I steal 500 today, 500 tomorrow, then that puts me over the $900 limit. So that's the change they made.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm not paying for my gum or my rock stars.
Yeah. Just
Boom.
walk out.
Just kidding. No, I would never do that.
I would say it'd take a while to reach that $800 threshold, but I'm like, oh, with the price of things these days, maybe not.
No kidding. I think last year I projected, Jesus Christ. I predicted it would be agentic AI was going to be kind of everywhere, and I think I nailed that one. I still think AI is going to be huge. I'm not too
Yeah.
sure if there's anything
doubt.
else to talk about over there.
I think it'll be security. A lot of it's going to be AIs out. And I think I actually predicted that last year as well, that it's going to be all about AI security. That AI's everywhere. We have things like OpenClaw that are just handing out people's crypto like nobody's business, and we got to find a way to take advantage of all the capabilities, but still keeping it secure somehow.
Interesting. Yeah. Should be a little bit boring. We'll see. Are you giving any talks while you're there?
I am not. So I actually wasn't officially invited. I was not officially invited by the company, but I'm just going to go up there to say hi to people and connect with people. So I'm not on official duty, but I always like to go up there. It's just a quick train ride for me.
Nice.
I'll be like Glenn, just take the train up there.
I have a ISMG. I'm not too sure what that is. Do you know what that is? No?
SMG, no.
ISMG. Integrated Security Management Group. I'm doing an interview there.
Oh, that's cool.
Should be fun. And then I'll be over at the Extra Hot booth doing a presentation for 7 to 10 minutes because I was asked by Heath. Heath, you owe me one. In fact, you need to come on the podcast, you son of a gun. Because he told me, he's like, come to the booth. We can present together. And then I found out I'm just doing it by myself. So he hung me out to dry. But respectfully, it's all good, though.
Is Heath at Extra Hop or is he with us?
Extra Hot.
Oh, okay.
Heath Mullins, super cool dude. Met him back when he was at Gartner. You're going to say he's super cool, Brian, because he's bald and has a beard. And you're right. But yeah, he's
we calling that the Brian look now?
Cloud God extraordinaire. Yeah.
Bald and beautiful.
Bald and beautiful, baby. So, and then other than that, just some briefings. What about you, Glenn? What's your capacity at RSAC?
I've got a bunch of mini briefings that I am scheduled for, so got to be on site at our event.
Nice. There you
And
go.
on site being off site, not at Moscone.
I am not at the event. Let's put it that way.
All right, I'll come look for you.
Yeah, we'll have to get together at night after all this stuff. I don't think I actually have quadruple booked dinners, so that would be good. I think last year I had 4 dinners to go to in one night. I was like, hey guys, I just appetizer here, drink here, main course here, dessert. Leave me alone.
There's a lot of steak.
Yeah, a lot of steak.
Yeah, I think
Somewhere in the ether out there is a picture of me. I think, where was I? Chicago?
I just remember hearing touchdown one time, Brian. So
You remember hearing
I
what?
remember you texting touchdown. So
Yep. I think specifically that one was, the picture of me is holding 2 ribeye steaks, which I devoured in like 7 minutes because I didn't eat that day. I was so hot. I was so hungry.
and you're still on that carnivore diet.
I fell off last week, but I'm back on it this week. So
Yeah. You're a lot of cheat week especially when you travel. I think the other thing that I made the prediction last year was the sheer number of vendors. Like it used to be, I think it goes back and forth because I think pre-pandemic it was both halls full plus the hall in the middle, and then it dwindled in size, and then I think last year it went back up again. And I'm curious to see where this industry goes because there is a lot of consolidation. There's a lot of M&A, and there's a lot of companies that are just disappearing, but there's also a lot of startups as well. So I want to see what the distribution is this year of big hall, small hall, lots of large companies, lots of small companies, how that looks.
but if the acquisition happened in the last 6 to 8 months, pre-planning has been done already or purchased for that space ahead of time. So
Yeah.
you could see maybe double booths in some locations, or maybe just like a blank space like before.
Yeah, because like when we bought Red Canary already bought their booth. So we had 2 booths. We had the ZCL booth in the North Hall, and we had the Red Canary booth in the South Hall. But for sure this year we're going to have 1. But we also bought SquareX and SPLX. So we'll see if they have a separate presence.
So when I registered, I said that I I won't say that I did it, but I was tempted to say that I have 100,000 direct reports and a $50 million budget. And I'm so curious. It's like walk by, have everyone scam me, and then just sit back and wait for the swag
have a
to
seat
come
here.
in. Yeah.
Have a seat over here. We want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yep, good times. It's always nice to see old colleagues. Like, you can't walk 10 feet without bumping into somebody that you used to know or somebody that you currently know.
Well, hopefully, what day? Maybe Thursday will be the tail end of it. But I'm looking at my calendar. Maybe we can go walk the floor together, all three of us. I don't know if you guys are busy or not.
Yeah, let me know. I'm busy a couple of the nights, but I have at least 2 nights that are free. So we'll sync up and we'll figure out when we're gonna meet. You should do like a fan meet and greet.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll 12 you out there. Come find us.
Sign my forehead, Brian. You got it, buddy. Are we every year we say we're gonna do live from RSA? We never do it, right?
We never do it. It's always hard to track people down. And since I take the train into the city, I don't want to bring my laptop with me.
Yeah, easy mugging. That's for sure. Yeah,
I go in with a shirt and a pair of pants, and that's about it. Even my sunglasses. Like, I don't bring my Oakleys or my Ray-Bans anymore. I bring my RSA. I keep a pair of RSA giveaway sunglasses that I wear around the city now.
Man, you are a crybaby.
I don't want to break them or lose them.
I'm afraid of getting robbed.
True. Or have them stolen. Yeah. That's what stay strapped or get clapped.
Exactly. All right, for our last topic, it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about, well, it's officially spring now. So what are your plans now that it's warmed up? At the top, Glenn, I already introduced your 4-foot pool, so I figured you're going to fire that thing up. So what else you guys got going on for spring now that spring has sprung?
Give me a second. I'm transitioning here.
Transitioning to what?
To a car.
Glenda?
I'm an auto robot.
You got me Glenda Medina? Okay.
So spring has been here in Arizona for at least 5 months. So we've been rocking and rolling on spring already. It's about to actually get super hot and whatnot. But no, a lot of time, off-roading in the hills, enjoying the cool weather. Bike riding, believe it or not, or mountain bike riding. Just because it's not that hot, but it is getting hotter. And then I would assume probably next month be getting in the pool finally. But I definitely want to plan a couple trips. Turns out American Airlines has something called like a system-wide upgrade. You familiar?
No, I don't fly American much.
Okay, apparently like it's something similar across all airlines, but I have like 6 of them. And the idea is that you can book a flight on premium economy, and then you're guaranteed to be able to upgrade your flight to business class.
Nice.
So I'm like, maybe I'll go like somewhere cool, like the Netherlands, Iceland, Barcelona.
Go visit
do
Kush.
something like, go visit Kush. Kush and Kush, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to take a little international vacation somewhere.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. Yeah.
Have you heard of 30A?
30A, no.
Yeah, it's a spot in Florida. And the water is like crystal clear, like teal blue, and the beaches are like sandy white, like super nice. Anyways, it's a very, very bougie part of Florida, and I'm tempted to go check that place out too. It looks like a lot of fun.
Is that where like Bezos and Howard Schultz and all those guys hang out?
No, no, not really. But yeah, all the homes there are like $5-6 million. But you can do. They have like an entire resort, and then they also have lots of Airbnbs. Shout out to Megan Wiles. She's the one that told me about it, and I looked it up. I'm like, oh my god, how did I not know about this? So we'll see.
Yeah, best kept secret until now.
How about you? What are you gonna do?
mean, I think it's the normal outdoorsy stuff. As like Canada right now, it's baseball season. I'm assistant coaching my son's baseball team. I don't know if you guys can tell because the lighting in here absolutely sucks, but I've gotten like 4 shades darker ever since I started coaching baseball. I'm outdoors like all the time now. It is quite warm here, as Glenn can tell you. But we got spring sports. It's stint season, and we're redoing our backyard. That's why I have 2 bobcats out there right now, and hopefully once that is done, we're going to get to spend a good amount of time out there just fixing things up, planting stuff, and getting things ready.
Nice. What about you, Glenifer? What are you going to be doing?
Is he driving yet?
You're talking about summer travels or summer plans?
Spring plans.
Spring plans. Yeah, I'm actually heading out on vacation to the East Coast. So can't tell you what week, what day, but we're going to Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina?
Yeah. So
what's out there?
Hopefully the beach and nothing, because I plan not to do a lot of work that week.
Good.
Bro, if you're on vacation, you should be doing 0 work. I'm telling you.
Should.
Have you been there before?
What's that?
Have you been to Myrtle Beach before?
As in my younger days, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks fun. Looks like it's going to be warm.
Yeah.
Are there even direct flights there, or do you have to stop somewhere? I don't know how big Myrtle Beach
think
Airport
this flight, well, not on Southwest. Southwest doesn't have any direct flights, so I got to go through Maryland to get to Myrtle Beach.
That's not too bad. Maryland's 6 hours away, and then another 3 to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's a long travel.
Not bad,
day.
but
Yeah.
the water is actually warmer there than it is in California.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they don't get hit with the hurricanes quite as bad there either. But I would say, I think, Glenn, you can attest to this. We had a pretty cold winter, and then now we're having a really hot spring. I think that was a big change for us out here that we weren't expecting.
Yeah, that was.
Just got to adapt, I guess.
Are you going to go for like a week, Glenn? Or like just a long weekend?
It never shows me a scoreboard anymore.
I'm going for like a Tuesday to Saturday,
Pretty even match.
so like 5
Nice,
days.
alright.
Yeah, just the wife and I.
I was like, I like to stagger like my vacations, like leave on a Wednesday, come back on a Wednesday. That way it's like a short work week, and then I come back and it's short again.
I think you're like a vacation, like 1 week a month, right? For 12 months straight.
Hey, unlimited PTO, buddy. So
Got to take all you can.
Yeah.
I think I summed it up. I think I'm less than 20 days for the year total. Not to date, but like for scheduling time off, I'm taking 20 days total.
I think those of us in this industry just know that vacation is just not a real thing, right? It's like, even though
It's not realistic.
even though they say we have like unlimited time as they get you, but it's not really unlimited. So it still has to be approved. It still has to go through and try miss just a week or a week and a half, and you're just so far behind when you come back.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. You're 100% right, because I was just on vacation, and I had a call. I won't say who with, but just know that the person leading the call, nobody wants to hear from anyone else but that person, not me, right? And so the rep is like, dude, I really need you on this call. I'm like, I will be lucky to get 5 words in. Tops, right? So anyways, do the call, wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get on there, and guess how many words I said that day?
6.
3. Hi, how are you? I guess that's 4. That was it. Or nice to meet. Like that was it. Like there was no unless I wanted to be a complete jerk and interrupt somebody. But it was just like
That's too funny.
What was the point of that?
Exactly. I was like telling the guys, like, dude, if you prep the person like presenting, you're gonna be just fine, right?
Yeah.
And he was. So
Yeah. Good. Well, you're there for backup.
I think the last time I took vacation was earlier, maybe a couple months ago now, and was gone for 10 days. And when I came back, it was 2,000 emails that I had to sort through. It's crazy.
How on earth do you get that much
Yeah.
mail? Like, are you just on that many distribution
I think
lists?
so. Yeah. And you know, the thing with Google Mail is that even though you accept, it still keeps it in your inbox or something like that. But yeah, it's like
Yeah.
2,000 unread, and it just there's some of the invites were chaining. Like you got this change, and then it changed a whole bunch of other things in your inbox. But you would think it would just group those together. Come on, Google, you can do better.
It's like just declare email bankruptcy at that point. Like, and I'm not going through 2,000 emails. Like, if it's important enough, you'll
Yeah,
send it.
what I typically do between us girls here and the rest of the internet is I take all the emails from the time I left to when I get back, and I dump it into a folder, and then I just come back to it when I think I have time. So basically, I start from zero again.
Just gonna get to it when I get to it. It's not a bad approach. All right, since we are not up against time right now, I have a little bit of time. Let's go back to our roots and do in cybersecurity practice interview question.
Ooh. What is this about?
So this will be interesting because Brian, you're an evangelist, Glenn, you're a manager, and I'm a practitioner. So we'll all have different answers on this one. How would you design a defense in-depth strategy for protecting sensitive data in a SaaS-heavy environment?
Be honest with you, I've never thought about this.
Would you what?
How would you design a defense in-depth strategy for protecting sensitive data in a SaaS-heavy environment?
You go with a company that has a platform. Boom, done.
I think the obvious answer is to build. I'm with Glenn. You need to have a platform. I agree with that. Also, you need to get out of the idea of like doing regex and dictionaries. Like, is this a recipe for disaster? Like, you'll never be able to do data security correctly. So
That's so 1990s.
yeah, you'd be surprised how many people still do it. But yeah, build, an engine that is basically based off of your data, not some random pattern that's out there. If you do that correctly, dot your I's, cross your T's, right? Then you can come up with the ability to get to like what I call the 90-10 rule. 90% of events could be kind of auto-remediated. You'll focus on the big 10, the next Edward Snowdens that are in the organization. Be able to apply that inline, out-of-band, email, endpoint, and at rest. I think you're money. I think that's pretty much the goal there. Having to manage 5 different solutions to do that would be insane. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All
I
right.
think the platform there, integrations as well, I think are key, correlating the data. All right, you're going to say something, Glenn?
Yeah, I'm just getting ready to pass by your new building. So
You're
Are you
all
in
one.
Uber?
yeah, that's it right there. So
Should ask the driver the same question.
yeah, I don't know, Chris. I mean, you thought of this question. So what's the answer? What's your answer?
I did. So my response was and I'm putting my Ben Coral hat on right now, and I would say, well, the question asks for defense in depth. So one of the things is you can't just have one control; you have to have multiple layers. And the second thing is protecting sensitive data in a SaaS-heavy environment. So we know it's cloud-based, and we know it's not on-prem. And when I think about like well-oiled machines for organizations I worked with, I can't talk about what we do here, but organizations that I would say are mature in the security models, when they come to us to be their trusted advisor, like I always start with things like shadow IT discovery. Like, are your users using tools that make their job easier but are not sanctioned and you're losing data? That way, that's a gigantic attack vector of doing shadow IT. Also, misconfigurations. You own a lot of these tools, but like, let's say for Salesforce, there's a tremendous amount of information in Salesforce, as we saw with things like the drift attack, the Aura Inspector attack that just came out. Like, do you have basic things? Do you have multi-factor authentication enabled for your admins? Do you have phishing resistant MFA like FIDO2 turned on for your administrators? And I think even just like those two things, to Brian's point, like it's the 80-20 rule. You'll eliminate 80% of the attack surface just by doing like 2 very simple things. And then to get the other 20%, you want to do things like on the data protection side, you want like client-side encryption when you can. We saw so many attacks. People just data sitting there, data at rest. They just go in there and they yoink it. Like it's not encrypted whatsoever. Unencrypted databases or open S3 buckets. Like again, things that you'll likely find when you look for misconfigurations. And then I would say the last layer, or one of the last layers, would be similar to what we saw with Striker that we talked about last week, where they use living off the land techniques. These are authorized processes. These are authorized users doing authorized processes, but you want access control around that. Your Intune control panel should only be accessible from these specific IP addresses. You should only be able to access Azure admin if you're going through a Zscaler data center. You could even do simple things like that for conditional access. That would get rid of a lot of the bottom feeder type attacks. It won't stop a state back actor, but it'll eliminate a lot of the risk there. And then just the last thing would be like posture control as well. Like, are you coming in from a authorized device? Like when I think of Striker again, they went into admin console, but if they had a rule that says you have to come in from a Striker managed device, like it'd be that much harder for them to just go into the admin console and wipe 200,000 devices. So again, a little unfair that I came up with the question, so I had plenty of time to prepare my answer, but not an uncommon question, I would say, when I was selling and people would ask us that, like, how do you approach this problem? And that's a pretty complete answer of what I would likely give.
I don't know how you thought we'd get that through that topic in like 5 minutes.
Well, like interview style, it can't be somebody droning on. So I might have droned on a little bit too long. I would say in a realistic interview type scenario, I would probably list them out. I'd say posture management, identity, data protection, access control. And I said, would you like me to elaborate on any one of those, or do you want me to keep going? I think that's usually how I would approach it.
Yeah, definitely.
The art of the interview.
Yeah. When we think of like the craziest things that happen with hacks and whatnot, and that we have to wrap, it's never like that sophisticated. It's not, I mean, there are the nation state attacks, which are wild, but yeah, it's like stolen credentials, phishing. It's like, it's
that
security
vulnerability
101.
that was patched 3 months ago and you never bothered to patch.
Or 20 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like let's.
We're looking at
I
you,
feel like-
Monster
I think-
J.
I mean,
Yeah,
changing
the
the password from admin, something simple or difficult.
Yeah. I think it's only a matter of time before we see another Apache struts. Like, come on, get out of here. It's almost a decade old. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So,
Yeah. Well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week. Dad joke of the week. This week, I'm up. I didn't want to spring it on either of you, so I just decided to
You're always
pick one
up.
for the team. I don't know. Always. You go ahead, Glenn. Go, fire.
No, it's okay.
You're up.
That's okay. I don't have any dad jokes right now. All my dad jokes are kind of not dad jokes anymore. So
All right,
I've
Brian,
evolved.
go. Fire away.
I have no dad jokes. Go ahead, Fred. I saw your thing. I was like, oh,
So you can't
Chris
get
is up.
mad. Can't get mad.
No, but I will do the next one. Darn you.
All right. So my son hit me with this one. So full credit to him. It says, "Who is the spiciest knight of the round table?"
This is night.
The Dark Knight.
It's Sir Acha. Sir
Okay.
Acha.
Wah wah wah.
All right.
Good
wrap
one,
things
Chris.
up. Thank you. Good one to my son. He's the one that gave that one to me. All right, to wrap things up, Meta is ending end-to-end encryption on Instagram. SuperMicro executives allegedly smuggled AI chips into China. RSA is going on right now, and go outside now that it's spring. That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Find us on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank our listeners and subscribers. Rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify, and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is search for the PEBCAK Podcast on your favorite podcast listening app. My co-hosts Brian Deach and Glenn Medina. I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next week, and as always, have a nice day.
Felicia. Later,
Bye,
guys.
Felicia. Later.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And shop.
Have a nice day.